Coming to you live from an undisclosed location, it's Motorsport Manager with me, Colonel Failure, joining you on the intranets there on a Sunday evening, the perfect time for racing. This evening there will be no stream helmet for technical reasons, but I'm here, you're here, everyone's here. If you would like to get involved in today's race in some fashion, the hashtag on that there Twitter will be hashtag Bulldozer Power, all one word. As you well know, Motorsport Manager is a game that is utterly reliant on the use of hashtags, so please do use them creatively. It's lovely to see a tremendous number of people on both Twitch and YouTube this evening. YouTube, I've got to put my teeth back in. This is quite exciting. Multiple chat rooms for me to miss out and Twitter at the same time. It's going to be amazing. I have no doubt in the slightest. King Awesome over on YouTube is asking, how am I? I'm good. I'm slightly more distracted than I would normally be, given that I'm now monitoring, it feels like, the entire Matrix. But that's all good. Bring the challenge, I say. Otterson87 says, yo. Lucas Jan says, sums it up pretty nice. Okay, I probably jumped into the middle of a conversation there. Right, that's it for shout-outs for now. If you want to get your pithy comment aired in the middle of today's Motorsport Madness, then please do. Hashtag Bulldozer Power on Twitter. I don't know. It would be rather marvellous. Anyway, let's see what we're up to. So at the end of the last race, we had been rather disappointed with the results that we'd had, and in fact, Silvera had performed so badly that frankly, if her contract is up, there's a very real chance that it won't be renewed, and I will take on someone cheap instead, and we'll throw all our hopes behind young Nicholas Hazel. I mean, there's not a lot of wisdom in that, but it's the kind of thing we'll do anyway. As ever, however, we have mail, and that's the first thing that we're going to get on with. That's the practice session. Why does it send me mail on the practice session after we've done the race? I honestly. Anyway, Gary's here, as he usually is. Complaining about the condition of the cars. Silvera threshed her car a little more than Hazel did, but didn't actually get a result out of it. It's only going to take him 12 hours to fix it. That'll be fine. Meanwhile, your friend and mine, Victor Keller from UKSN, is here doing his interview bit. And we ought to see what he's got to say. Someone in the last episode suggested that I ought to skip interviews because they don't lead to anything good. And I say, that's the fun of the game. So here we go. Victor Keller, he says, you attempted a quick pit stop for Hazel during the last race, but it resulted in a mistake. Your very own chairman criticised the move, saying that motorsport isn't a place for gambling. You've asked this question before, Victor. I'm going to give you probably the same response I gave you last time. If Nicholas hadn't been performing so poorly, I wouldn't have needed to risk the pit stop. There we go. Or we had to go for it. Every second makes a difference in this sport. What we're not going to do is agree with the chairman. That simple. Right, yeah, okay, we had to go for it, all right? And that upset both the drivers. Total result right there. Ho-hum, never mind. This is all good. Meanwhile, Rachel Noy from Channel 6 is talking about the race in Milan. Plastic, I'm assuming Reverend Plastic, was definitely pushed to his limits during the race in Milan, pulling off a number of daring overtaking manoeuvres. The Firebird MRT driver eventually came out on top, with Roe finishing second and Moto rounding out the podium. Winning Firebird MRT boss Hugo Cumberland collected the team's trophy and looked delighted as he downed the champagne. As ever, we definitely want some champagne at some point, but we're a million miles away from getting that now. Meanwhile, Sophia is here with another scouting report. It's all go, isn't it? Katie Linares, a low-quality driver in the European Racing Series. Sounds like she might work for me. Let's have a look here. Oh, my giddy aunt. So, currently the backup driver at Predator We Suck Racing Group The only thing she's any good at all is being quite fit. Well, that's nice then. Let's have a... What do we got here? So she's content, morale plus 30, but desires lower earnings. Well, with those skills, I'm pretty certain that lower earnings is what she's going to get. And she's a successful designer, which makes her more marketable. Well, she's not going to get a job with me. That's for absolutely certain. So let us continue our odyssey of drivers and the scouting thereof. Right, let's. Where's the ones that I've done? Oh no, this is what we want. We want the ones that I've done already. No. Fine, do it in this order. See if I care. Right, here we go. Right, okay. So there's the list of reprobates we've already had a look at. H&R is quite good. It's never going to work for me, but I think we'll stick a scouting job in anyway. The goal being, of course, simply to get a scouting report on everybody at some point. But you know, we'll do. What does fitness even do? Asks Pyro Phoenix 118. I'm sure it means that the driver will probably be able to concentrate later in the race as they get more tired. But there we go. We got Elzar has sent a message into Bulldozer Power on Twitter. Hashtag Bulldozer Power, for those of you who don't know. Kurt's calling. Kurt is certainly not calling. The last thing I need is a call from Kurt right now. Right, let's press on. So this is the bit you don't usually get to see during the live episodes, because I cut all of this waiting for stuff to happen business out, so you can skip to the good stuff. Anyway, here we go. Gary's saying that the cars are now repaired, which means that we can go and poke around in the workshop and see what's going on. Okay, so 2 days before the race, we will finish work on the new gearbox. Splendid. And then just 2 weeks after the race, what's going on here? There's no point in working in reliability because they're all going to be unreliable again after the season rollover. So there really isn't any point in wasting time on that. Let's have a look here. Now I've got 1.4 million quid left. It's going to cost me 780 to do the next race, so I'm going to have 750 left in the bank. What's the sponsor? I always check the sponsors before I'm about to go and blow everything. We're going to get sponsorship deals for slots 4 and 6 here. And they'll come in afterwards. Only one of them gave an upfront payment, so I reckon I can blow a million on a part for next season. What do you think? Actually, don't answer that. You might tell me not to do it. But there we go. We're going to give it a go anyway. Right. Now then, we have great knowledge on everything. I've got one engine in the works. In fact, I better check that first, right? Improve parts. So I haven't got super good brakes. So here's the Chansey button, and we've got a Chansey gearbox capable of 228, and a bit of Chansey suspension. Really intriguing. Capable of 175. I thought my engine was a risk it for a biscuit kind of a deal. I guess not. Okay, right. Well, we could always go for an incredibly expensive investment in a new engine, which is clearly going to make a big difference. Potentially going to make it might make a big difference. It's going to make a hole in my bank account. That's what it's going to do. Either that or brakes. Right? Now, we know Hazel's terrible at braking, so having good brakes might actually help him out. And they'll be cheaper. But I want an engine. William Flood there, commenting over on YouTube, is saying he's been saying all along, it's time to go hard or go home. Beautiful. Well, that's salient advice there. Leave it all out on the track. Take nothing home. Go for a new car. We'll go for a new car at the end of the season. Don't worry about that. Brakes. Yeah. Okay. That's Joachim VD Mullen. Okay. The secret weapon, friends, to getting a shout out on that there Twitch is have a name that people can pronounce. Right, let's have a look at, let's go for breaks. All right, I'm going to go for some breaks because Hazel's terrible at it. Right, so what we want here is all deceleration all the time. So let's price this sucker up. Deceleration plus 50. That's the stuff. Yeah, I'll take it. Right, and we've got one slot left. This is already, it's starting to get towards the maximum. Oh, no, it's not plus max, is it? That's just plus what it is immediately. Plus max is what we're interested in. So that'll be up to there. So it takes us to a max of 197. Oh, well, that's boring. It is a risky part, but the whole point of the risky part is that it will carry over to next season, at which point it will no longer be risky. And therefore, it will just be, it'll be legit. And we can go, I don't know what you're talking about, mate. No, this is totally fine. All engines were using steroids last season, and we jumped on board as well. There we go. Another hashtag Bulldozer Power coming in over on the Twitter there has suggested that I jack in this Formula One business and make a move over to the GT series. I don't know whether that's a backhanded compliment, but I suspect it isn't. I suspect you might actually be able to not come last at some point if you move over there. Let's, for comparison purposes, have a look and see what we could do with an engine if I decided to throw caution and indeed my wallet to the win. Let's have a look. Right. Extra top speed, yes. 25 to max, yes. And then, what have we got here? Top speed plus 35. Yeah, minus 10% red zone. That's helpful. What I want is to max, right? I want more max top speed. Top speed plus 35. We got plus 20 there. We got plus 40 here, but lose 20% reliability. Goodness me, that's not ideal, is it? What does that give us? 203, and it's going to cost me 1.7 million, which is almost certainly going to get me a phone call from Kurt, and he will not be pleased. Right, we're going to go with the brakes, and then that will do us for this season as far as part creation is concerned. So we will take plus 20 deceleration. Thank you very much. We'll take that one there, and then we'll take this one here, which takes us to 197. Can I go higher? Any higher than 197? No, there is no higher than 197 to be had. 750 grand. Thank you very much. I'd love to haggle, but I guess that's not going to happen. Right, we'll have it. I love the way it pops up this little window to let you know that, you've just blown your entire budget. Yes, I did. Ian Hayes over there on Twitch is asking whether I have already hit up Kurt for some additional cash this morning, and the answer is no. No, I know. The answer is yes. Yes, I have already hit up cash for it. Kurt for cash. Maybe I should just call him Cash. Hey, Cash, give us some cash. He's very happy. See, he's already given us cash. There we are. Mind in the game, clearly. Not misfiring in the slightest. Let's trot on, shall we? Right then, new part is the mail we've got going on here. Oh, hello there. Nicholas Hazel says, I want you to build me some new brakes for the next race. Can you make sure I get to use it before Vanessa Silvera? He's a cheeky fella, this Hazel. I mean, he started in the team as a backup driver, right? A backup driver. And now he's getting just a little bit ahead of himself. It would show the team. Oh, what does the new part personality trait do? What's that? What's it going to do? Is it going to make him all narky if he doesn't get it? No, I'm not putting those brakes on the car anyway, so forget about it. It's not happening. Those brakes are for next season. They are not for next pointless race. Because Robert Pedot there in Twitch is suggesting that Mr. Hazel thinks he's the big man, and evidently that is the case. Anyway, we've got another scouting report in, and those are always a joy. We're just skipping on past that. Yeah, have another scouting report. Right, what have we got? Eva Blasi would be one of European Racing Series' top drivers. On top of that, she still has some potential to become even better. Eva's greatest strength is her braking, weakness is overtaking. I don't want a driver who can't overtake, right? We'll have a look at the full report in a sec, but because we've also had Norman Napoleon has been reviewed. One of the best drivers, has some room to improve. His best quality is his focus, but he's not terribly not terribly consistent. Well, yeah, we'll see. Right, anyway, here's Eva. Stone me. Yeah, well, she is good, isn't she? There is absolutely no chance that she will sign with us. But there we go. We've at least found out what she's like. She's only got 2 months left on her contract, if that makes any difference at all. We can't afford to pay her. We're going to need much more cash rolling in than we currently have before we can afford drivers of that kind of pedigree. That kind of pedigree. Right. Meanwhile, this is Mr. Napoleon. Braking's okay. Cornering's okay. Smooth. There's no overtaking feedback. He's a good driver. Again, probably won't sign for me. He's a pay driver. What? They'll pay me 284k a race that he's involved in. Hello. My sponsors are interested in a... Oh, no, I think that's just the standard quote. He's out of shape. I don't care about that. Bad at DRS. Don't care about that either. I wonder if he would be interested in a move to Bulldozer Power. He's not interested. All right, onwards. Oh, I didn't set any more scouting targets. Never mind, we'll do that in a minute. Not that it's making a massive amount of difference there, but there we go. Anyway, here we go. Brace yourselves. And the Asia Pacific Super Cup is reporting back its results from the round in Phoenix, the 11th of 12 this season. In first place, Tallulah Hawk, who is currently third in the standings overall, not only winning the race, but also setting the fastest lap. Impressive work there from Hawk, who is out of the running, I think it's fair to say this season, as Carlo T. Curious has it wrapped up. In second place, Andrea Floridi, the second place driver, who is fending off Hawk for the silver medal in the series, driving as she does for McNeil Racing Team. In third place, Frida Fisher. Not really much, I've not spoken about her a lot, but apparently she's in fifth. Why I haven't, and why I'm somehow fixated that Wolfbite was doing better than he actually has been doing for the last half dozen races is pretty mysterious. Anyway, for all of you Asia Pacific Super Cup fans, that's all the latest news there is. Right, okay, back to the team. So I need to set a couple more scouting things in place. We'll just keep working down the list. Why the hell not? Right, Ava Loss, scouting, and Alice Wood. Alice Wood looks like she could be quite good. She's also getting on a bit. As much as 34 is apparently getting on a bit. So, you know, you never know. She might be getting on. I don't know. Who knows? Right. Okay. So moving on. Again, you can see why I edit this out. Watching the calendar tick past is completely riveting stuff. Right. So we've finished designing the brakes. And that means we should get them being improved. Now, as mentioned, there is not a lot of point in working on this suspension, unless there is. Yes, a chancy part. I'm not going to use it, and the reliability is reset in between seasons. Anyway, so instead, we shall chuck our new brakes in. Where are they? 197. I mean, honestly, it's not that good. 197 on those brakes. It's not setting me alight as far as my enthusiasm for these new brakes. But I'm hoping that the new parts, particularly if I make something, you know, something that's actually quite reliable at the start of the next season, then there is a fighting chance that we can get some points in the first couple of races. So Freddie there, he's talking about the brakes build being complete. Makes a change for him talking about us needing a telemetry centre. But I'm sure he'll be along with that nugget of good news pretty soon. Yes, call Kurt for cash is Pixelator 1998's suggestion over on Twitter. You can follow along the chat. You don't have to wait for me to shout it out. But hashtag Bulldozer Power for those of you who want to get stuck in. Have you told me anything else there, Freddie? No, we're trotting on. Come on, let's get on. We've got one race left to go. We're back in the Black Sea once again, where we started. Thus shall we finish. And meanwhile, the 15th round of the World Motorsport Championship comes back from Rio de Janeiro. Ava Loss, once again, taking the top position in this race for Panther Race Team, with his teammate, Reaper 86 in second. Panther Race Team there, stamping their authority really quite clearly on the top end of this table. Radon there, finishing in third to gain 6 points, but that leaves him in fourth overall, and he certainly isn't going to catch the mighty Veloz, who is a good shake clear. In fact, so many shakes clear that nobody's going to catch him. This season's already over. All that remains to be seen is, will it be Johnson or Fishburne that can end up in second place? As far as the team standings are concerned, it's Panther Race Team all the way, with Scuderia Rossini in second and the Steinman Motorsport in third place. Down at the other end of the table, Esprit GP will be racing in the Asia Pacific Super Cup next season. There you go. That's my esports commentary voice there. So there you go. Right, okie dokie. Let's keep pushing on. I mean, with this being the last race that we're doing this season, there is actually not an awful lot to do. We just have to get the drivers to the track, stick them in the cars, and then watch with increasing despondency as another season completes. Anyway, here we go. Sophia's back with some details on H&R. Holy mackerel, slows down like a bandit. Anna's got everything else in the positive scores here. H&R might be the best driver to have ever lived. And very marketable and very easy on the fuel. Somehow, I don't think I'm going to get her on the team. I really don't think I'm going to get her on the team. She's got a qualifying bonus 100 grand, race bonus of 116,000 with a cost per race of 600,000, and it's going to cost me. I'm going to chance it because you never know. A great driver may make all the difference. May make all the difference, but we'll just have to see how we go there. Let's press the button. She's not interested in joining a team in the European Get Out. Okay, well, that was a short-lived piece of hope there. Let's get the next driver into research. Amy McLeod. Now, at some point, I'm going to stop just researching all of them and going exclusively for people that might actually possibly, go for a team that isn't good, like my team, for example. Right. Meanwhile, Kurt's back. Kurt, with his very short memory, just a reminder that we are currently in 9th place in the team's championship. We've been there for the whole season, Kurt. Oh, boy. This is currently bang on for your original target of 9th. Not bad. Not bad at all. Thanks, Kurt. Happy to oblige. Meanwhile, Anna's here with a report on the Black Sea. A brief report on the next race in the calendar. We're a 26-lap race, and the lap length is 2.96 miles, and the lap record is 127. There's likely to be some rain on the race. Pack dry tyres. With Sunday showing a 40% chance of rain. Without too many chances for the cars to get up to full speed. This track really favours acceleration. Acceleration. Okay, smashing. Acceleration it is. There's Freddie. Look, he's turned up again. Blah, 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 blah. Telemetry centre. Then Mr. Hayes, he's back again. He's got another demand. I've heard from a contract inside Garuda Racing that they're working on improving their driver's first lap performance. I've been analysing my telemetry, which he's written on the back of a cornflakes packet, with some of the mechanics, and they say there are a couple of ways in which I could improve, like learning how to brake. So, should I start working on improving my starts, or should we concentrate on my braking? No, it's braking for sure. You are going to get better at braking. It is your weakest skill. I don't need a first lap hero who then throws it away throughout the rest of the race. Just dearie me. I mean, the man's a disaster area, and he's very demanding as well. Right, on we go. Right, there's another scouting report. Look, yeah, more stuff. We're almost here. Right, here we go. So, scouting report finished. Alice Wood. Alice would be one of the very best drivers in the European Racing Series, would she? Yes, she would. Not tops at braking, but for feedback, consistency and focus, that's pretty impressive stuff. Great on the overtaking, good smoothness. Cost to brake contract, 4 million quid. Not even going to talk to her. And Ava Loss. Goodness gracious me. Ava Loss is perhaps the greatest driver anyone has ever seen in the history of all driving. Incredibly unfit at the moment, but has got a broken neck, so that's acceptable. But 19 braking, 19 over to 20, 20 adapted, 19, 20 flipping neck. Well, there you go. It's got a dodgy neck, you don't say. Made it dodgy neck fitness minus 10. So normally her fitness is 19 as well. Cost to break the contract. What are you looking at? £1 million a race. $250,000. Let's have a look. Not interested. Well, it was worth a go. I thought there for a moment the greatest driver who might have ever lived would potentially be interested in joining the bum of the month club that is Bulldozer Power, but I guess not so much. There we go. Ninja Pumpkin there over on the Twitter with hashtag telemetry center. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's the kind of reminder. Clearly, Freddie has been having a word in your ear. Right, so pre-race preview for the upcoming Black Sea race. Espen Roe is going into the Black Sea Grand Prix at the top of the drivers' standings, which former driver Michael Tellman. Former drivers these days, clearly, the only thing they have to do is just, talk a load of old nonsense. Isn't expecting to see change this weekend. Can't see Hans 00 making up too much ground in Russia. Hans 00 has been driving like an absolute bandit in the last couple of races, and he's coming up fast on Roe. If you wanted a nail-biting finish to the season, that's it right there. But obviously, what we're really going to be watching is the competition between Nicholas Hazel and Vanessa Silveira to see which one of them incurs more of my ire. For away from the front pack, struggling Predator Racing Group will be hoping to see some improvements this weekend. They won't, as the circuit offers them some chance of picking up valuable blah, blah, blah. Spons Plastic, as ever, with a word of optimism that is absolutely in no way based in reality. So, as ever, it's pick the sponsor time. I'm going to open this one to the crowd. Name that sponsor there to give you the runners and riders. Golden Tiger is a bank. They want me to finish 13th. Now, this is our typical sponsor selection. We'll usually go, oh, yes, we'll take those chaps. Alternatively, and we have to finish 13th. Alternatively, One Chai Industries want us to finish 9th or above, and they will give us over twice as much. Meanwhile, if we're feeling particularly chancy, Northern Harbour will give us 880 grand. So we've got Glander Bromberg on YouTube suggesting that we should stick with Golden Tiger. Over on Twitch, Joachim, Itzoki, Golden Tiger, both of them. Trainboy is suggesting go big or go home Northern, as is JB434. Give Hazel good parts and he'll give you 9. I'm pretty certain that the misspelling of Hazel, Haxel, might be intentional. Wan Chai now are coming in as the late breaking suggestion. So there's support across the board here. However, it is TJ Marshall over on the Twitter who has said, Golden Tiger, hashtag Bulldozer Power. First person to do so, that's the one I'm going for. Oh yes, we are Bulldozer Power. We embrace the social medias and all the things that they do in this most modern something or other. Right, we're going to go with Golden Tiger. 200 grand will mean, if we manage to get it, it will mean that we end the season with a positive balance. Vanessa's angry at the moment because she's got the worst car. Now, let's have a look at her numbers here. All right, braking of 10. Hazel used her braking of 1. His bonus has given her a braking of 2. But we like the 16 overtaking, and we like that he's quite fit. This is helpful to us, but he's terrible at cornering. Vanessa, meanwhile, is actually only 1 point better at cornering. Less smooth, can't overtake, but is consistent, adaptable, gives good feedback, and is focused. In terms of which one is going to be the more exciting driver, you have to go with Hazel's 16 points of overtaking there and hope that the car can actually live up to that capability. So here we go, 157 brakes to Hazel, yes. The secondary brakes to Silvera, that's what we're going to have to do. We'll give him the better engine. And I'd see which way I'm leaning here. We're going to give Hazel the good car. We're going to give Hazel the good car. That's a thing that's happening. Vanessa can have the secondary car. Now, we're not going to put any chancy parts on here. I've invested an awful lot in these parts that may get us through next season. I'm not about to chuck them away now. That would be a foolish thing to do. The bad news is that Vanessa's suspension is garbage. So be it. So be it. Vanessa can stay angry. Maybe it will help her. If it doesn't help her, then she will be looking for a new job come the end of her career. Anyway, here we go. The track guide for the Black Sea. Tyre wear very high. Fuel burn very low. Intriguing. Now, it was also suggested in the last episode in the comments that for the last race, let's stay within fiction here. During the last race, it was suggested that I should put one driver out on an incredibly aggressive opening strategy with a low fuel weight to try and make the most possible out of the early stage of the race and try a multi-stop strategy in order to try and make that work. Yeah. We'll see. But really, this is Hazel's race to prove himself. What he needs to do here is he needs to finish above Silvera again to confirm, frankly, that he is the driver I should be sticking with. While Silvera can pull it back. I mean, a top 10 finish from Silvera, I'll be delighted. Particularly if she causes an accident along the way. Just purely, that's a skill I respect. But neither driver really, other than Hazel's ability to overtake, really fills me with a great deal of confidence. The first corner is and it's heaving it down with rain. 40% chance was as reliable a prediction as it always is. It is throwing rain down from the sky, and we're just going to have to figure out how to deal with that. Does Megna get a drive? Not today, she doesn't. Right, okay, so we're on Inters. So that's a bold choice, given that on the second lap out there, it's going to be wet, but it doesn't really matter because I'm bringing them back in anyway. Let's tinker with the setup here. Now, Hazel's mechanic team is saying that we should be going for high downforce. They agree on handling and edging towards top speed. Well, we know already that this is an acceleration-based track, this one, so we're going to crank that. No, we're not going to crank it anywhere until we've played with the wings. There you go. We'll take this to about 15.7. Right, that's pretty extreme, isn't it? Let's go a bit further. Let's go 16. That should do the trick. Right. Okay. That's a start. We should at least get some feedback based on the position there to see if there's anything better we can do. We'll stick it a little bit further towards oversteer, and we'll ramp it very much in the direction of acceleration. Tyres we've already selected. That is confirmed. We will go similar with Silvera. We'll crank her towards a little bit more oversteer. There you go. See, it's easy when you go the right way. And again, we'll head towards acceleration rather than top speed. Colonel might want to adjust that rain sound down. Interesting. Okay, hold on. I can do that. That's something that can be done by the press of a button. Which actually I haven't been. I know. Go audio settings. Audio settings. SFX. Let's just drop that to a casual 71% there. There you go. See how you feel about that, chaps. Right. Okay. Don't know why you pushed that. Let's continue. Okay. Right. So that's both drivers set up. I think. It doesn't look like it actually took Silvera's settings there. So let's put that back as it was, because I'd messed with her car to the extent that she's going to hate it. There we go. Right. Very acceleratory. Try wets with Silvera. It might get wetter later. Do you know what? That's actually some sound thinking. We're gonna go for that. Thank you very much. I should always give that. It's Pyro Phoenix 118 there. So here we go. Practice session. Practice session. Mr. Hazel, get out there. I just did this. I told you already. Just go on, op it. Silvera, get out. Right, we're going to give the cars a good thumping as we usually do to see if we can get out of this early practice session. But as usual, I'm not expecting a massive amount. We should, you know, we just want a bit of feedback. Then we'll get them in and we'll tweak it. And we'll leave Vanessa out front. See, look. The wet tyre choice was absolutely spot on for this practice session. The question is, what's going to change? So the practice session is going to dry up pretty quickly. The weather forecast suggesting that it's going to be dry after this next lap. So the wets aren't going to help for this practice session, but as rightly pointed out, there could be the possibility as the race progresses that it turns wet, whereby wet weather tyres are going to be advantageous. So Silvera eases past Hazel there, but that's no surprise given the condition of the track, and it will start to dry up. We'll tell both drivers to come in, or will we? No, we won't. We'll leave Silvera out for one more. Might as well, since the track will be pretty much dry after she does one more. In fact, it's drying up so quickly, makes you wonder if they've got some kind of pump system going on the track already, and she likes the gearing as well. I'm excited. There you go. And as ever, it's the Bulldozer Power slow motion formation lap here. As whoever that is behind them, who is that? Is that a plastic? Could well be. As the plastic in question tries to get past repeatedly. There we go. Hazel comes in. We'll tell Silvera to come in the next lap. Switching back to Hazel. This is the way it should be done. Let's have a look here. It feels like we're running the wrong arrow. Well, so be it. Let's send in that out, but first we'll get the tweakage on the go. Right, so great on the downforce, and which means it can be a little bit better. Handling is awful, however, so a bit more understeer, beg your pardon, would be welcome. Great is not the top rating either, so we can go just a little bit more on the downforce and potentially get a little bit more chippiness from Mr. Hazel. Handling poor. All right, let's stiffen up that that suspension a bunch and see where we get to. But I wouldn't have thought understeer would be welcome on a track as cornering oriented as this one is. We'll ease the gear ratios just a little as well. Right, race trim learning is coming along. Now, do we go back out on inters? No, we're not. We're going to go out on medium tyres. This is a tyre shredding track, so yes, we'll go out on mediums and see where it gets us. He's going to complain initially that we should be out on inters. Mic up. All right, I'm miking up. I have mic'd up a smooch. I hope that is suitable. It can be quite sensitive about such things. Right, Elza was saying, Anidia Hazel asks, where's my premium custom umbrella? Well, that would be typical, most definitely. Meanwhile, Silvera's still out there in our wet weather tyres, and it is showing that she really is on inappropriate tyres now. As she's basically just cruising around the track, just, you know, checking out the sights. She's currently showing her lap time on Periscope to anyone who's interested. Going in, this is turn 4, where I'm going to win the game. Right, let's have a look. What have we got here? So she's learned some stuff. What have you learned? Poor on the downforce. Okay on the handling. Good on the speed balance. Well, that's not telling me anything flipping useful, is it? Right, we're going to have to go with more downforce. So let's look at 16. I don't know, 16.5 maybe. That's quite an aggressive change, but that's not going to move it into awesome, is it? I think we'll go a little bit further. 26.9 and 16.9. Again, I mentioned this previously, that if I had any sense at all, given that we race this track twice a season, if I made a note of the most effective settings from one race, I could use them in a supplemental one. And despite having tipped myself off to this extent, I haven't bothered going back and looking at the last race to see what happened. Right, we'll give it a bit more understeer here, and then I don't know. What do you want? You want top speed or you want acceleration? We'll leave it as is and see what we get from that. But again, we're going to go with mediums as the tyre choice of choice. I don't know, but we'll just have to see how we get on. Anyway, Silvera's going back out. Hazel's still out there and running. How are we getting on? Well, he looks a little bit more pacey now, but actually I've not got him on that aggressive a strategy. Now, if I bring him in at the end of this lap, he'll have time enough to go out for one more session. And with a bit of luck, he will then have a setting that he likes, a setup that he likes. But to be honest, even in the races where my drivers have been absolutely deliriously happy with their car setup, we have still driven like an absolute dog over the course of the race. So what my drivers think of the car is it's almost irrelevant, to be honest. There it is. So Hazel should be on his way in now. Vanessa's out on her out lap, hopefully getting good stuff out of those tyres. That would be most beneficial. So Hazel's back in once again, and we're gonna see what we can accomplish. Right, downforce is excellent, handling is great, and the speed balance is okay. Well, that's a good place to be. Right, now, previously the speed balance was great and it was more acceleration oriented. Well, who'd have thunk it? I think we leave the handling where it is. I think we leave the downforce where it is, and I think we increase the nods towards acceleration, which to me feels wrong. I think we're gonna lose out significantly on the straights. But if that's what he wants, that's what he's gonna get. Let's get him out there. Let's see if we can get a time recorded, see what he's capable of. Let's bring Silvera back in. Now she's happier with her aerodynamic setup here, but I'm hoping she's proper happy, because one of these drivers needs to come up with a needs to come up with a total winner. And frankly, at the moment, it doesn't look like happening. So Silvera's coming back in, a little tweak to the car, and she'll be back out again, but she won't get to record another full lap. So that whatever time it was that she set that's put her at third fastest is going to be the one that stands. We've been all over the shop with tyres. Downforce excellent, handling great, speed balance great. Oh well, now then, that's more like it. So a little more understeer, and things get exciting. I don't want to give too much understeer, just that much extra understeer, and she should be properly pleased to be alive. So let's get back out on the track. There's no need to do anything more exciting than that, we'll see where we get on. Meanwhile, Mr. Hazel is going to be coming around for his flyer now. And the rain has started again. Oh well, this is exciting. Actually, given that he's on flying lap, let's tell him to absolutely mash it. Whatever I did to the speed balance, it's working. Is the initial feedback we've got there? I should hope so. Now everybody else is out on wet tyres. I would say that was premature, if you ask me. Now he's going to get a full lap done. And given that the fastest lap was set on a pair of inters, this could see Hazel get the fastest practice time if he hadn't just gone as wide as it's possible to go on that corner. Now, you could suggest that was maybe due to the wetness of the track. I suggest it's down to the fact he can't blip in drive. Let's have a look. No, he's beaten by two drivers with intermediate tyres. And that's why he is the rock star driver of the team, because it doesn't matter how aggressively you tell him to drive, what kind of car setup you give him, he still completely fails to come up with the results. Right, I'm going to retrieve a minor beverage at this point. While the practice session wraps up, I will be right back. Don't go changing. So it turns out if you tab out of the game for even 3 seconds, it pauses the game. Terrific. Make sure you never miss any of the action. Anyway, a couple of bold young individuals from the Twitch comments have seen their way clear to, well, one of them has seen their way clear to help support the channel. Josh Rubino, thank you very much for your donation, saying that he's a big fan of the Transport Fever series. So am I, to be honest. That's why I keep it up. And then Espen Roe has offered a minor amount of loose pocket change there in the hope that it guarantees victory for their driver in the upcoming race. If we look at the standings there's Hans 00, see? Hans 00, 6th fastest. Espen Roe, 10th fastest. 00 is, where are we? Roe, 143. 00, 142. That's like, you know, that's 0.8 of a second in it between these two drivers who are 1 and 2 in the championship this season. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. And it's been said that Hazel is still useless. Well, that's absolutely true. Bulldozer Power season-ending swag for sale in the pits. Apparently, Silvera shirts are in a bin next to the parking lot, according to Ninja Pumpkin. We'll just have to see whether Silvera can maintain her desirability for the team following the race. So, meanwhile, over on the other social media channel that we pay attention to, and Carolina Chavez is a fan. Who the hell is running Archer BMR anyways? Donkeys. Well, quite. That's what I always say. Meanwhile, Jiro Kagawa, who likes writing about the team on a regular basis, does the track here in Black Sea suit the Bulldozer Power car or something? They're looking like they're going to get a good result this weekend. No, we're looking like we chose different tyres to everybody else. XBC Sport and Luke Finley Maxwell. The engineers must have been doing a good job with Vanessa Silvera's setup. They were, because they were showing some impressive pace out there. Again, it was the tyres. Everybody else was effectively running tractor tyres to deal with the wetness of the track, while I was very cynically not using tractor tyres there. We were using different kind of tyres that are more suited to motor racing. Anyway, Henderson has finished the practice session right at the top of the lead, with Hazel in second. Yeah, that's impressive, given that Henderson was on intermediates. Crying out loud. Anyway, race day. The sun is out. Now, does this mean it's going to be a sunny all weekend? In which case, the time that we sunk into those medium tyres may help us. They might not, but they might. The weather forecast is 7 degrees and sunny. That's quite cold. So that will mean that the tyres are chilly, right? Surely that's what it'll mean. Light-footed, super soft tyres wear more slowly. There are worse ideas there, you know. Or a 5% increase on mediums. Done. All right, what are we going to do? I think the initial strategy here is going to be to thrash it with Silvera. Silvera's got nothing to lose, and therefore we will. Fast pit stops have a -15 mistake chance. She's going to hit the pits on a more regular basis. Yeah, there we go. This could be pretty exciting, as Vanessa is going to go for the multi-stop strategy here. But if you look at the car setups, Hazel, excellent, great, and Silvera, excellent, great. I don't think I could have done much better than that, really. They both look pretty solid. Meanwhile, we will go with Ultra Aggression from Hazel at the start, and Ultra Aggression from Silvera. Yeah. Car setup, no. Driver strategy, no. Knowledge, yes. What I need to do is, where's the fuel setup bit? I play this regularly enough. Surely I'd be able to remember how much fuel to stick in the beast. There we go, fuel options. This is Silvera. Right, 11 laps worth of fuel. Now, let's take that down to about 6. What do you think? 6? 5? You think 5? What's that in real money? That's 0.175 seconds. So we're getting close to 1 second a lap, in theory. 5 laps worth of fuel. Hammer it. Silvera's speed balance used to be excellent, says Drago Ken over there on YouTube. Hazel's tyres, he's still on soft. Thank you, Skipper Chew. This is the kind of thing, this is the point at which I really do need to be reading all of the comments, because this is the point at which I usually make all of the mistakes. We don't... Do we want to... What does continue do? Okay, continue's fine. Right. You there. Hazel, my lad. We're going to have you on medium tyres. All right? Now, I still want you to absolutely thrash it off the line, but we'll be easing you back quite quickly. Okay? Just so as you're aware. I mean, you know, this is a very hard track on tyres. So going for fewer stops should mean fewer stops. I don't know. Maybe. Do we go medium? I'm pondering. I'm pondering. Yes. I know. We're going to try it. We're going to see what happens. If Hazel's getting no love out of medium tyres in this first session, then we'll bring him in and switch him over onto something else. But medium, I think, is the way to go. Right. Here we go. So, on the front row of the grid, it's Swans Plastic and Steve Mush. They're both on soft. Hazel and Chris Shaw on the second row. Hazel there, the only driver on medium so far. Followed by Salmone Longo, Vanessa Silveira. Then Megahertz. Sean Mendez also on mediums, as is Reverend Plastic, who is a good driver, apparently. Then Hong Lao, Maiko Kitasato, trolley fodder on the sixth row. Then Scott Price and P. Ruto, both also running mediums. Playmoto and Finger Puppet. This is a good mix of strategy going on here. Sarah Thomas, who's currently fourth in the championships in 17th, next to Derek Henderson. With Hans 00, who is currently suffering from an injury as Racer X 140 makes a very generous donation to the stream. Thank you very much from across the pond. So, well, it's race time. Espen Rowe there out on the front of the grid. Hans 00 carrying an injury. Can he do enough to win the season? It all comes down to this. Anyway, there's the red lights. Come on, Hazel. Don't screw this up. We're away. Hazel, terrible start. Terrible start. Silveira bombs it past Hazel. Silveira absolutely wants it. Hazel, of course, is on slower tyres, but I'm not accepting that as an excuse. Not for a second. Right, he's not going to get any love out of this attack mode that he's on right now. But he can afford to do so for the moment. Once the tyres start getting up to temperature a bit, we'll ease back. Meanwhile, Silveira, who we will be following momentarily, had better make the most of this light fuel load. Right, let's get you back onto high, and you can stay out on aggression on those tyres a little while longer. Meanwhile, Silveira is right up against the back of Chris Shaw, with Mush and Plastic both doing a decent job at staying out in front. As Mush sets a fast time. Now, Steve Mush historically has been, well, that's a charitable way of saying it, terrible on race day, but at the moment he's holding out in first. Now, this could be, I mean, as you'll notice, there's not a lot of spacing out going on right now, although 1 and 2 are pulling away from 3 and 4. Hazel's still in the mix there as well. We're going to get him to ease back on his tyres, given the whole point of Hazel's existence for this race is to stay out for as long as possible and see if we can capitalise. Silveira's tyres are now starting to look a little bit dicey, so we'll ease back there as well. She's only got 2 and a bit laps of fuel left. That's going to be exciting. So she's coming in 2. Sarah Thomas has crashed. Well, that's exciting. You know, we don't get a crash in every race, but we certainly got one today. And that's a good thing to do. Meanwhile, Hazel is attempting to overtake Sean Mendez. Not really getting away with it as he drops back to 6th. But he is the insurance policy. We are sticking an awful lot of effort behind Silveira in the hope that we can get just a result here at the end of the season. We're going to go with 2 separate strategies to see what we can do. Tyres are actually a little low right now, so we can let's bung them up a little bit, given that she's coming in shortly. Now, as long as she has over 1 lap of fuel as we pass the pit entrance, she'll stay out. She is staying out 1 more lap. And so that I don't forget that I've done it, we will tell her to pit right now. We'll go back for the soft tyres and we'll keep her out for a second short sprint, which is a really terrible idea. But we're going to do it anyway because competitive is what we want. That's the important bit. Is that wise? Really? Yes, that's what we're going to do. Suspension is already taking a bit of a beating there. Yeah, I don't know, but hopefully, you know, it will hang in there till the end of the race. We're just gonna have to see. So between the rear wing and the front wing and the suspension, they're already down on quality. Mr. Otson there is saying, I'm sorry, Mr. Otson is suggesting, don't forget fast pit. Thank you. Yep, totally fast pit. Don't change her tyres, suggests Espen Roe. Let's have a look here. Well, to be fair, they do have half their life left in them. We can save a little bit more time. Stay on the current tyres. It's only 3 seconds, but it's 3 seconds nonetheless. That's chancy. I like it. It's chancy. Let's do it. I'm all about this. This is exciting. It's certainly giving me the thrill of being alive. As Silvera is now given her pit instructions. Who's this joker in 18th? That's Price there, who's already been into the pits once. Evidently there was some kind of a collision going on there. Now trying to fight their way back up again. Should be seeing a blue flag at every single corner on the track. So I can't say I approve. Meanwhile, we're going to up the tempo on Vanessa's fuel. She should easily have enough to make it back to the pits. That's the hope. Now, as we look at tyre wear across the board here, Mush and company are all down to 50% tyre wear. We'll ease off on our tyres meanwhile, as they do have to do another session. Here she goes, she's coming in. This is where Silvera's going to burn a bunch of places. Now remember, she's got very low risk on the pit stop here. And didn't wreck it. Excellent. That makes a change. So Silvera's coming back out in 17th, still on the lead lap, which is, well, I mean, that's a point of consolation, I guess. I'm really not sure about this tyre strategy where we're not gonna change the tyres, but we've done it now, so you know, there it is. We'll go neutral on the tyres to keep them in one piece for a bit. Now, all being well, she should still be out on the track when everybody else is coming in for their first pit stop, and as a result, she will pick up a place or two, hopefully. It's going to be interesting to see. If nothing else, this is certainly making for a bit of variety as Henderson now makes his second pit stop there. That's insane. For those of you who are following the Drivers' Championship, Espen Roe currently in 7th and climbing, having just overtaken Hazel, with Hans 00 in 10th, in 9th, in 8th. Oh, we better get up there, and because Hazel's in that mix. Hazel was clearly causing the stack of cars there that has made this piece of drama able to unfurl as he holds up P. Ruto as Hans 00 chases down Espen Roe. This is the kind of pay-per-view high-octane race entertainment which really does make Bulldozer Power and the European Racing Championship the single most viewed something in the history of motorsport. And Silvera is now complaining about her tyres. Well, let's conserve the tyres then, because this was a bad idea. Should have changed the tyres. It was only 3 more seconds. She'd still be on the lead lap, but now those tyres are starting to fall off the car. But she is in 13th as everybody else comes into the pit, so she's making a place back up again. But she's only got 8 seconds over Steve Mush. The question is that increasing? And it's not, because she's losing out all the time. The gap is near constant as far as Mendez extending his lead over Silvera's position, certainly. Hazel, meanwhile, in 6th. The late pit strategy there showing some legs. and he's going to stay out for at least another 2 laps. Silvera, meanwhile, those tyres, they're falling off the car. You know, it's basically a couple of rubber bands around a cotton spool at this point, and you know, that's pretty catastrophic. Meanwhile, Henderson is attempting to overtake Hazel. I don't mind that, given that Henderson is in 19th at the moment. Now, if Hazel can stay out for a little bit longer, then there is no. Hold on, let me scrub that. I was about to say we could possibly get away with just 1 pit stop, but that ain't going to happen. Not unless I ask him to push the car for a couple of laps. So yes, it's back markers there that are chasing down Hazel at the moment. We're going to move over to Silvera, who for some reason is now in 7th. That's odd. Now everybody's pitting, and Silvera has moved back up to 7th place again. This is highly unexpected, to the extent that when Hazel goes in, if Silvera managed to stay out, could be on a real winner. But those tyres have had it. They are absolutely done. She has to come in. There's no choice in it. Absolutely has to come in. And then we might as well top the fuel back up again. I don't like it. She's going to lose all of that ground that she gained there, which is a real shame. But yeah, there goes the suspension. Look, that's already looking dubious. Medium tyres and a full tank. Oh, suggesting change of strategy. Change of strategy. I like it. Mid-race change of strategy for Silvera. Full tank of fuel. And then, you know, who knows what's going on? At that point, people are pitting left, right and centre. Anything could be happening. She's got 8% left on her tyres. Let's absolutely rinse it as we finish the meanwhile, young Felony lad is also asking to come in. Well, we'll do that. And he's also saying that he'll be out of fuel by the time he makes it in. Maybe I just missed the button. Maybe I missed the timing by focusing on Silvera, which was a stupid thing to do, given that we don't like her. Let's have a look. Hazel, where are you? He's just gone past the pits. We're going to have to ease back on the, not the tyres. Tyres are fine. Do that on the tyres. Do that on the fuel. He may be on fumes by the time he makes it to the pit lane. And he's currently in 3rd. This is a bit of a shame. Had he come in just then, it would have been great. But it is only 19th place that's trying to overtake. Moto is 2 and a bit seconds back. And Moto's going to have to pit too. Relatively quickly. We've got half a lap of fuel left. I think we could possibly burn a little more. Let's do that. See, yeah, you let Moto catch right up. And Moto's going to be coming into the pits immediately behind us. Oh, this could be phenomenally exciting. As Silvera's back out, giving it great guns on the new tyres. In fact, we'll keep the tyre wear up high. I just have to keep an eye on the temperature. As Hazel pits from 2nd. There's something you don't hear all the time. Did not hose the pit stop up. This is good news. As it comes out and comes back out in 8th. 8th is a good race. 8th, all right. Now let's, what are we talking here? We're talking drive faster for the moment. We want to get those tyres up to temperature as quickly as possible, and then we'll ease back up on them afterwards. Right, tyres on Vanessa are starting to get warm, so we'll ease off on those a smidge. As she's in 15th now, following 2 pit stops. So she's basically on the same car longevity setup that Hazel's now on, but having had a 2nd pit stop. It's actually only cost her an extra 20 or so seconds, but the Play Moto just overtook Nicholas Hazel, who's under instructions to give the car everything it's got. That's Play Moto from Predator Flipping Racing Team. For the love of God. Overtaking. Oh, hold on. Hazel's saying, no, I'm not having it. That's it. Put him back where he belongs. That's the stuff right there. Right, who's next? Hong Lao, who is a very promising young driver who we tried to sign but was having none of it, is the next on our task list. I think we'll go for, give it some fuel now. Feel free to hard charge for a bit. We've got to make one more pit stop anyway. We might as well come in a little bit earlier than the pack. Although, that meant that last time we came in from second, which was quite exciting. Now, I actually can't fault Silvera for being down in 15th at the moment. That's purely down to that early aggression strategy not really paying off. Hazel's putting he's putting a bit of a gap between him and Moto, but he's not closing down the lead at all. Nor is he closing down the window. He's going to see Mendes. Hans 00, title championship followers, is now in third with Espen Rowe in fourth. That's drama. That is. Hong Lao has fallen to Nicholas Hazel. In your face, Hong Lao. And Hazel wants more. He's now immediately behind Chris Shaw and then Steve Mush. No, Aaron, I'd take it back. Hong Lao's done it. It's not, it's flipping Play Moto again. Goodness me. And I mistakenly said Play Moto was the worst driver. I meant Steve Mush was the worst driver. One of them is the worst driver. I can't remember which of them it is. We possibly ought to ease off on the fuel a little bit. But the action is all quite exciting. Moto's tyres will burn out soon, says Ninja Pumpkin. Absolutely right. Had not spotted that Play Moto is running soft tyres on this most brutal of tracks. But Moto has just overtaken Shaw as well. Clearly trying to make hay out of what profit they can from those tyres. Silvera's tyres are actually starting to get a bit chilly, so we'll tell her to up the tempo a little bit. Both my drivers have got 6 laps worth of fuel left at their current expenditure. Although I have continually got the throttle down for Hazel. We are using a leave it all out on the track philosophy for this race. He's not closing anybody down though. Although here he is again, closing in on Steve Mush, who I'm pretty certain is the worst driver in the championship. Who does he drive for? We're going to get the details there. I don't know why we're following. But there it is. That's Steve Mush there. And Mush actually, his tyres are absolutely hammered, as is Shaw's tyres, who is ahead of Mush. Both these drivers clearly came in quite early. As Hazel's, he takes a good look there, but his braking lets him down. A little bit more effort on the braking side from Hazel, and that could have been an exciting manoeuvre. It wasn't though. So this is something of a redundant comment, as at the top of the table, the top of the pack, Hans 00 had a go at Finger Puppet there, but wasn't able to make it through. It is incredibly close at the front. I'm almost tempted to go and watch that race, but we're not going to, because who cares? Instead, we're going to stick with Bulldozer Power, for they are the premium team in the whole of the European Racing Championship. And why would you go and watch anybody else when the premium team, Bulldozer Power, is available? Hashtag Bulldozer Power, hashtag Believe, hashtag Nicholas Hazel. Hazel now closing in. He's not so much closing in as he's staring right at the back, and he can't make his way through. We're going to, you know what, we're going to tell him to just hammer it. Get past that fall, will you? Go on, put your foot down. 8th place, that's a plastic there who's having car trouble. Oh, how my heart weeps for a driver that is having car trouble. And there goes, that's him, got into the pits there. So Steve Mush there enters the pits as Hazel is overtaken by a car that has got technical difficulties. That shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody at all. He's got 3 laps, best part of, worth of fuel left in his tank. I'm going to try and keep him up for all 3 there. The tyres will definitely hold up to it. Just have to be careful not to be too overzealous on the fuel. The tyres, however, are fine. As Silvera moved up to 7th, thanks to 11th, beg your pardon, as a whole bunch of people come into the pits. She is 20 seconds behind Nicholas Hazel, but is actually closing him down. Hazel's worried about how much fuel he's got left. I'm keeping an eye on it, don't worry. Whether I actually send you into the pits or not, that's an entirely different matter. but I am aware of how much fuel you've got, and I'm very worried about that in a minute. Hazel moves up to 6th as whoever that was comes into the pits. Moto's in the pits, and Longo and Fodder are all in the pits. Finger Puppet out in first, but needs to stop. Espen Roe is in second, but needs to stop, whereas Double Zero has already been in. A poor pit stop from Roe will lead to absolute drama where that's concerned. Right, here we go. We're coming back in with Nicholas Hazel. You all thought I was looking at other stuff and would forget. I did not forget, despite looking at other stuff. What have we got? 8 laps remaining after the pit stop. We'll take a full tank so that we can go absolutely hammer down, should we choose to. 54% on the rear spoiler there is a bit of a worry, but I'm not that worried. We're going to go fast again. This is not the time to not be chancing it. Meanwhile, 1.7 laps of fuel left for Silvera. We're going to watch her because Hazel's already under control. Now, if she can get round with some fuel in reserve, we can bring her in a little later. So I'm going to ease off just a smidge there as we talk. Oh, never mind. We'll return to attack as soon as he gets back out. Silvera he's going to do another pit stop. She's going to do another lap. She's not going to have a lot. She's not going to have a lot left after this lap. But in the meantime, this is how we're doing. Hazel exiting the pits in 9th, just about with Trolley Fodder and Kitasato both within arm's reach. Do you use your arms in motor racing? Kind of hard to say, but I think you see where I'm going with that. There's Hazel's absolutely hammering it. Silvera is separated with Steve Mush, who we know already is not a great driver. Better tell her to come in. Hey, that would be a sensible move, would it? What's the weather forecast? I haven't looked all race. I might as well check it now. Weather forecast is fine. Right. What are we going to do? How many laps have we got left? That would be you. Oh, here we go. 8 laps remaining. 19 of 26. We know already that soft tyres will not last those 8 laps. We will be better on mediums. That's my official position. Don't let them run out of fuel. I know. I have let them. Thank you, Soul Duckling over on YouTube has suggested that I shouldn't forget to push the button. And today I have not forgotten to push the button. Last stint needs to stay fully aggressive. Don't steer with your feet just yet. Hazel won't run out of fuel this time. Don't put any money on that. If there is a way to run out of fuel, I will find it. Again, rear wing there, not looking perfect. Fast pit stop. Do not fluff the pit stop there, Silvera. But you can monster the rest of your fuel. And your tyres. By what time you can on your way to the pits there. As we're going to come in with 0.1 of a lap of fuel. We've seen this move before, and that was from the end race last season, where it was Sergio Gomez, who I'd forgotten to... Pedro Gomez. It was either Sergio. Why not it was Sergio? I don't know, but there you go. Right, we're done with Silvera. She's back out, fully aggressive. Meanwhile, on the subject of fully aggressive, is Hazel, and he's currently chasing down Steve Mush. This is actually looking like quite a promising bit of driving from young Mr. Hazel, although it has to be said the level of intrigue placed upon the strategy in this race has exceeded anything we've done so far. Come on, man, you're supposed to be good at overtaking. Get through that. Now you're being overtaken by trolley fodder. Do you not want it? Is that your problem? I'm coming for you, fodder, he says. I don't believe you, says I. And there we go, as Nicholas Hazel there fails to live up to the prospects. It's only Mush, for crying out loud. He's not even that good. And you can tell he's not that good because we've got Kitasato and Lau are both piling up at the end of the queue here, as Hazel loses another place due to his inability to brake. Who is that? Still Mush. It's still, somehow Steve Mush is putting on a tour de force at how to create a traffic jam on a racing track. His car must be set up for some kind of wizardry-based cornering because nobody can get past him at the corner. And there isn't enough room for top speed to really do the damage, as Hazel is back into 8th again. Come on, mate, come on, just will you please get it done? Hazel now up to 6th, thanks to a couple of drivers being in the pits. There's 00 in the pits. Espen Roe is on soft tyres in is in 1st place. Espen Roe there maybe locked up the season. There's only a few laps left to go. Right, your tyres are starting to get a bit cooked there, Chief. So let's ease off on those, shall we? You won't have to ease off for too long because it's a nice cool day, so your tyres should cool down nicely, all being well. We've easily got the fuel to finish this race out, but the question is, hold on, what's happened? Where's the other drivers gone? That's Fodder's now 2 seconds back. Hazel is looking capable, and he's still on the tail of Steve Mush. Well, one of the Canterbury tails there. He's on the tail of Steve Mush, and but still unable to get past. And I don't know if this is down to confidence or it's down to his braking incorrectly or what. As Megahertz, who is one of the better drivers in the series, manages to push through, but Hazel loses out there, which puts him straight back into a fight with Trolley Fodder. Look, see, Megahertz there, demonstrating how you overtake Steve Mush. You basically just drive past him. And that's strategy. Right, lap 24 of 26. And Hazel's going to lose 7. Don't you... Oh, what was that? Some kind of transcendental car system there, because he got blue flagged, and the game didn't really know how to handle that, and somehow Hazel has managed to come out in 5th. I imagine there will be a steward's inquiry to figure out exactly what happened there, but the Spirit car helped Hazel accomplish what he'd been unable to manage doing what he was doing on himself, and he got that overtaking move, which now puts him into 5th place, although Chris Shaw is now meeting him on soft tyres, so Shaw certainly has the option to, the opportunity to get past here. Tyre temperature is down a bit. We'll go back onto attack. I'm going to make Shaw work for it, frankly. His tyres can take a kick if he wants to get past Hazel. A 5th place finish would be remarkable. I don't think we're going to do it, but it would be the kind of stuff that would certainly almost certainly guarantee Mr. Hazel will drive next season for us, whether his contract is up or not. To be fair, I should have checked on that before this race, but hey, it's too late for that now. We're in the race now. Right, Silvera has let 00 past him. Well, that's okay. He was ahead of you anyway, and let's face it, he is challenging for the season, so I'm okay. Meanwhile, this is both of my drivers within the sponsorship objective. I'm pretty pleased with that, as Hazel is now 3/4 of the way around his penultimate lap, and he's got he's got a 2-second gap over Chris Shaw. Shaw not wanting to risk his tyres. In your face, Chris Shaw, as we ease back on the last lap, and we'll ease back on the fuel as well, and that way we'll crank it up if we need to. Silvera, however, we'll keep her cranked up at the same time. Why not? Everybody crank up. It's the end of race crank up here, as Roe finishes in 1st place, and that's a season for you right there. Puppet in 2nd, Sean Mendes in 3rd, Playmoto having a belter to finish in 4th. Equally, Steve Mush, he's been the butt of many jokes this season. But it looks like Mush is going to end in the top 13, which is quite a result for him and for Porsche Racing overall. Is that Swans plastic or Reverend plastic? No idea. But there we go. Hazel there confirmed 5th place finish. 5th place finish. Hazel in 5th. he's been a cocky so-and-so. He's had the better car numerous times. Silvera finishes in 11th. Now, an 11th place finish I'd have been pretty pleased with. But 5th and 11th, this is the sign of a team that is potentially going places. I tell you where we'll be going pretty quickly. We will be going to the bar for a drink. Now, as we look at the strategy, or lack thereof, that was employed on this road, this doesn't look like right. That's tyre history. I want, show me that can't be right. Silvera didn't stay out for 10 laps on flipping soft tyres, 9 laps on soft tyres. Didn't happen. She came in after like 6. I call shenanigans. Okay, that's not the tyre strategy. I recall having taken. Oh no, she did 2 stints on softs. So where's the pit? Never mind. Anyway, I thought that was quite interesting, but evidently the game feels otherwise. Scrutineering underway as the GMA makes sure that nobody has broken any of the rules there, and we look at the final standings with a remarkable 5th place finish. Just hold it there, will you? A remarkable 5th place finish for Nicholas Hazel, ahead of Trolley Fodder Chris Shaw, Maiko Kitasato, Hong Lao, Hans 00, the almighty 00, and how the almighty have become less mighty. She stayed on the same tyre for 9 laps, yes, exactly. And Vanessa Silvera in 11th, which is, this is what we like to see. And then, what does that do to the standings? Oh my goodness me. Hazel moves up to 14th overall, and Vanessa Silvera drops to 16th. Well, that's going to create quite the scandal back at Bulldozer Power HQ. Certainly, there's going to be a lot of debate going on there. But Espen Rowe finishes out top, 191 points for the season, 19 ahead of Hans 00, who could not get it done. At Fenger Puppet, the second Garuda Racing driver, in 3rd. Playmoto, who I'd been incorrectly suggesting was a terrible driver, in 4th. I was thinking of Steve Mush, who had a great race, actually, to finish ahead of Swans Plastic overall, despite the 2 of them really languishing at the bottom of the table for the entire season. So in terms of teams, had we had a couple more races like that this season, we would not be looking at 9th place. We would be looking at a place better than 9th. We've already got the yells of hashtag Fire Vanessa going on over there on Twitch. And frankly, I would expect that hashtag to reverberate throughout the off-season. Carrie Ann Kilgore has sent us a message saying, Bulldozer Powers PR just sent me a bag of goodies. Yay, D. Smiley face. Hashtag great stuff. Rachel Noy, she hasn't talked to us in a while. Has said from Channel 6, obviously, that Rachel Noy. The Bulldozer Power will be pleased with a strong result. We are pleased, and it was a strong result. That much is absolutely certain. While Nicholas Hazel has taken to Twitter, I don't want my drivers on Twitter. It's just a distraction. I bet in his description he also says, all opinions stated are my own. I bet he has that. It's not true. They reflect on the team, and as such, it might get you done. We've got hashtag Fire Silver, Fire Silver and Fire Silvera coming from YouTube. William Flood and Gobarn jumping on that particular witch hunt. There's the Oma 99 is going with Fire Hazel. Then we've got Cash Kurt, Keep Vanessa. It's hashtag madness there for the fans of Bulldozer Power. They're all giving every opinion that they possibly have, and that's why we have the best fans in the European Racing Championship, which is surely the championship that we're going to be in for the rest of our natural lives, as there is no evidence that we can do any better than we have been historically. So, have we seen any progress from our drivers in this race? Morale, well, everybody's morale's up a little bit. Well, good. I do love a happy driver. But no, it's taking such a painfully long time to get any actual training into these drivers. Kurt, however, he's absolutely delirious. He's beside himself, and quite rightly so. As we wrap up a disappointing season, let's make that absolutely clear. Terrible season, but frankly, we went out on a high point. Although Silvera is apparently a higher rated driver. If this was football, I'd transfer her to, Bury or, someone like that, Scunthorpe. But no, I don't appear to have that option. So from the race itself, we completed our sponsor objective. It cost us 584. We had 686 in the bank. We're going to have 102 grand left on us to go into the off season. As the World Motorsport Championship also wraps up with the final round in Dubai, Ray Don there coming good, taking the win with Carl Johnson in second, and we know that he was hoping to lock that down with James Fishburne in third. Avalos, having already wrapped it up, basically cruised into the finish line, having already wrapped up the season in fourth place, with Reaper 86 in fifth. From the Asia Pacific Super Cup, they too finish off their season coming out of Munich with Frieda Fischer, a late charge to put her up to second place overall, gaining 22 points in this race. Really puts Fischer on the map for next season, but Curious could not be caught. And obviously Curious could not be bothered racing either. I mean, he finished in 10th in this one. As Craig Smith finishes in second to take him to 6th overall in the season, and picks Elater there, who finished 9th overall, but managed to get third place podium finish in this race. Telling you what you already know, Espen Roe there with 40 points takes the championship up from 151 to 191, because I can't remember who was ahead before that. Hans Double Zero gets 22, finishes up, what's that, 19 behind, 22 off 4 is 18. So Hans Double Zero would have needed the win there anyway, but Espen at the end of the season there showing very clearly to how to get it done. Absolutely how to get it done. Right, so that will just about wrap it up for this season as the world champion Espen Roe. Although how you can be the world champion in a European racing series, that's difficult to say. As we receive a donation over there on the Twitch from Hayes, who has suggested #HigherStegs. That's the last thing we want to do. To be honest, Hazel is enough like Stegs, enough already. So there we go. That will wrap up this season of Motorsport Manager. We'll be back with another season at some point in the future. Meanwhile, if you have not done so already, please do subscribe to the channel over there on YouTube, as that is where the action happens. And there will be more madness of a similar variety coming in the very near future. I want to thank you all for tuning in today for this Sunday night racing stream. Espen wants to be changed to be Norwegian. If I can find that button, I'll make it happen. But thank you very much for watching today. I've been Colonel Failure. I'll be back very soon with something similar over there on YouTube. In fact, it's Transport Fever tomorrow, for those of you who like such things. And then there's something new on Tuesday. I've got these queued up already. It's a work of art. What do I do now? Cheerio.